Welcome in. It is the ATB show at the buzzer. It is Adam in beautiful Connecticut and Rubber Shoes in the LA studios. And Scotty Don't is back in the building. What's up, Scotty?
Hey, buddy. You
How
started
you
that
doing, man?
so radio, by the way. It was
What?
amazing. I loved it. You started that whole thing very radio, like, hey, welcome
Hey,
in, everybody.
welcome
Good
in,
morning.
everybody.
It was good evening, I guess. Yeah, it's the latest I think I've ever done a show. You guys did this
We did it last week, this
last
late.
weekend.
Yeah.
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 Well, we used
This
to do
is
the old show pretty late. We used to do it we'd do it at like 9, 10 o'clock at night because
uh,
we were younger and we didn't go to bed as early.
that's
Yeah,
right. We didn't have all
pretty
the
much.
kids and stuff yet. I
Yeah.
remember going into the studio. I think Billy, that was the first time I met you, I think.
Yep.
Didn't you come into the studio when Timmy was working in Portsmouth? Yeah. We
Yep.
went in the
Oh yeah,
studio and we cut.
those were good
Yeah,
times, man.
back
We
in
used
the
to have
day.
so much
So
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
All right. Well, yeah, I will try to keep the radio voice to a minimum
no, I'm
tonight.
just kidding. No, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I know.
That's
I know.
good.
Last week I watched the show and you said you didn't want to disclose my medical history, and I appreciate that. No, it was. I have a torn Achilles, and surgery
Ugh.
is Wednesday. And yeah, that's
What do they do? You have to they put you to sleep for that?
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's just, but it's a 1 day thing. So my
Oh, that's
son
not bad.
Nathan is here. I want to get on. Okay, he's
Nice.
making food now because
because dad's trying to do something in the room, so he figured he would come in and do something too. Well, we wish you well. We'll be
Appreciate
thinking
that.
about you. Hopefully you get lots of time to keep your leg up and watch sports rather than play sports, which you had been doing, which got you into this mess in the first place. So lots of Madden in your future, I would think. So Rubber Shoes, let's hear about AAA work trucks.
AAA Work Trucks, your one-stop shop for all your work truck needs. If it goes in or on a vehicle, it's a good bet AAA can take care of for you. Give them a call at 866-783-6222 or check them out online at aaaworktrucks.com.
As always, thank you to Joe and Leslie for being the lone and first sponsor of the ATV show, but we're very appreciative of it. And always hooking Rubber Shoes up with the front row seats at all the games. Have you been to a Celtics game yet this season, Rubber Shoes?
No.
No,
No.
not yet. All right. Still
I'm going
plenty.
tomorrow.
You're going tomorrow? Oh, get out of
My
here.
last hurrah, dude, before the surgery.
Oh
Yes,
man.
with
Was that like
Nathan and Logan and actually in Stony.
was that like a last minute purchase or did you happen on the Cleveland Cavs and
You know what just happened on it? To be honest with you, we honestly thought it was we were looking at it more of like the NBA Cup. It's coming to Boston.
oh
That's
cool,
what we were
yeah.
looking at, like. But then it was like, yes. Someone's asking me, how long do I heat the food up? 30 seconds. Maybe I had to make it a minute, but
Put it on
anyway.
high, dude. Put it on high.
Jesus, really? Anyway, no, we snagged the tickets 2 days before my Achilles. I think it was
Oh, wow.
Thursday. I think it was a Thursday night or a Friday night, something like that. And that Saturday, I tore my Achilles. So yeah,
Good
but
seats,
but because the surgery is Wednesday,
Yeah,
and I
you
can
can
kind of
squeeze
put
it
some
in.
pressure on it, I'm going. So
Awesome. That's amazing. Well,
we don't have Billy Corey seats though.
no steak
don't-
tips
we
being
don't-
served at
no.
your
Those
seat.
aren't my seats.
But yeah, I'm sorry. His view. I'll say that.
Yes.
There you go.
I don't
There
have
you
his
go.
view.
Well, we did agree that we were before you jumped on, Scotty. We agreed that we are going to talk about the Bruins first off because they're going to be an easy. Their up and down season is continuing, and Rubber Shoes says they're down 2-0 right now. So, Rubber Shoes, where's your head at on the Bruins these
Let's
days?
make sure it's still 2. Let's see what.
I mean, by the time this happens, there'll be a final. So
yeah, 2-0. What do you mean? We're live right now.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So it's still 2-0, and the first goal they let up. It's just the way their season's been going. Swayman made the block or the save. He made the save, and then Carlo slid into him and knocked the puck into the net.
Oh, geez. Well, that's that when you're not a good team, those are the types of goals you let up, right?
I wouldn't say they're not a good team. I would say they are having a lot of bad luck this year. They are better than what their record is, but like, a lot of coaches, Bill Belichick, one of them, says you are what your record is. So
That's true. That's true.
they're not playing up to their standard of what they should be. I should say that.
You think there's time for them? Well, obviously there's time for them to turn it around, but do you think they will be able to turn it around?
Yes, I think there's time, but I think they're gonna have to fire the coach. Not that it's 100% his fault, but that's usually what happens, and they shake up the team that way by firing the coach. I
Yeah.
think there was not too long ago, the Pittsburgh Penguins fired their coach right about this time, and they went on and I believe they won the Stanley Cup that year.
Oh wow.
So it
Well, we
has
talked about this
happened in the
last week. I'm
past.
surprised that I thought it was imminent, but I guess not. I mean, they
So
haven't.
what's happening is that they look really bad for a couple games. You think he's gonna get fired, and then they pull one out of their ass. So they won Saturday night.
Yeah,
Oh no, actually they lost. They were up, I think 2-0, and they went into overtime and lost in overtime.
they blew it.
Yeah.
Scotty, are
So
you watching the Bruins?
Kind of keeping track of them. I haven't really watched many of the games. I've been busy, but not much this year. Though I do have a Bruins moment, I should say. I went to a
Oh, okay.
it's random and has nothing to do with real life, but I went to a retro. It was a retro gaming store and collectible store in Sanford, Maine, and I found a Sega Genesis
Come on.
and NHL '95.
Oh my God, get out of here.
Dirt cheap. I'm like, done. Snagged
What?
it, brought it. Oh my God. And I was the Bruins. And I forgot how hard that game. It should be easy for, I'm like, but it was really hard for me to score. But I mean, this wasn't '93 was the best game. That's the one you can make them bleed.
Yeah.
But '95 was a lot of fun. Adam Oates, Cam Neely, Ray Bork, Don Sweeney.
Let's go.
It was fun. It was super fun.
How did you hook that up to the TV these days?
There's I have actually my Sony TV downstairs. It still works, looks amazing. Is 9 years old, so it still actually has the ports.
Oh wow! You have a 9-year-old TV, even
even
that's pretty new to have those ports. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome. I can't.
It was
believe
fun.
You
It was fun,
that.
but it was the Bruins. But that was my only Bruins story for this segment.
I mean, you are the video game connoisseur of the show, so it makes sense that you would have dug out a Sega Genesis from 1995. What is something like that run? Because online you can drop big bucks on those things.
No, yeah, this was like it was $50.
Oh,
and the game was $3.
Is that the only game you got, or did
you
get Sonic?
No, I already have like Sonic. I have a bunch of old.
Oh, okay.
We're not going to go down that path. How nerdy I am. But,
wait, we've been giving Rubber Shoe shit for his jerseys for 4 years. We could give you a little bit of shit for all the games you have.
I have a lot of consoles. I think Tim has more consoles than I do. Let's be honest. Mine are more retro, I think. But
okay.
But no, I grabbed Joe Montana football.
Yes.
And Tecmo Super Bowl, of course. And the hockey game. So I grabbed a couple of sports games and stuff like that too.
Oh, that's amazing.
It was fun. It was super cool. It was just something to do.
If I was your sons, I would never come upstairs from your basement ever again. I mean, the amount of games you have. Don't you have Golden Tee? You have Golden Tee as
Golden Tee, NBA Jam, arcade,
God.
and then also Marvel vs. Capcom, a little fighting game.
You are providing inspiration to me because the wife and I are thinking about turning our back room into a gaming room. So I'm very excited. Yes, I'm very excited about it.
Worth it. It's worth it.
Rubber Shoes, anything else on the Bruins or are we good? I mean, we spent like 30 seconds on it.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, we're good. So we want to jump into the Patriots. I want to start here. It's Patriots adjacent, and then we'll get into the actual Patriots because coaching changes are going to happen, are going to continue to happen. The NFL is terrible this year. We think Belichick's going to end up anywhere this year, or do we think he won't start until?
No, he'll start fresh.
You think he'll start fresh?
Yeah.
Okay, Scotty, what do you think?
Yeah, he won't be going anywhere near a team right now. He's definitely going to be starting, brand new.
Timmy's take has always been the Giants. Is that a possibility? You think? I mean,
they're
pretty bad.
Yeah,
they're pretty bad.
It's not a bad take at all. I mean, they just had, Brian Daboll basically said, you can get rid of Saquon Barkley. I'm going to go with Daniel Jones, and then he just benched him. Going, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Thank you, not Inside the NFL, Hard Knocks. Thank you, Hard Knocks. You're showing us that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
well,
he's treading water right now, Daboll.
Yes.
I just don't know. Like if I was I don't know how old Belichick is. He's like 75. If I was 75 years old, I do not know that I would go, yeah, I'm gonna go start with a team that's in the bottom of the league and try and build them up. I mean, I guess it's in your blood and you just can't get away from it, but it just surprises me that he would even go back to it. I mean, just
I'll say this. I'll actually be more surprised if he does go back. At
oh
first, I
really?
was like, no, he's definitely going to go back. But look at the life he has right now. He's on the TV. He's still
Yeah.
doing stuff and whatever. But I don't know. I'd be surprised if he went back, or I wouldn't be surprised. I said less surprised he did go back, and if he stayed, I think that would make more sense. But
Yeah.
that's my opinion. I don't know. Which has changed. My opinion has changed. So
Right. Yeah, he's definitely like carved out a nice niche for himself on all these TV shows and, it's probably a lot
social life.
less stressful. Yeah, and he's living a life. He's certainly living a life. All right, let's get to the Patriots, the season at hand. I got to say I'm Rubber Shoes and I had this conversation last week. Like, we're rooting for exciting games, and I feel like Sunday was kind of an exciting game. I mean, yeah, it sucks that we lost. I wish we would have won, but I just think it was exciting. I think Drake is going to continue to get better. I thought he was better last night, or not last night, but well, I guess it technically was yesterday, right? Because it's Monday. But I don't know. I think they've gotten better, progressively. I think they're going to hit some tough games coming up. Well, I mean, they're playing the Dolphins, and then who did I say they were playing? Is it the Jets again? They might be playing.
No,
Jets
they played the
again.
Bills.
Oh, the Bills. Yeah, that's going to be a tough.
Two out of the
Those are
last 3 games.
going to be tough games.
Yeah.
I just think they're playing better, and I think we'll get through this season, and hopefully if they draft well, I think next season is going to be a season where they can be on the come up.
Yeah, I mean, I me, I'm always very passionate.
Yeah,
and
that's
ridiculously unrealistic. Yeah, unrealistic. I think that's the word Billy uses for me. I think it's. Well, that's okay. That's okay. With the Patriots, I always be like that. But no, I agree. It's fun to watch. You guys ever see? I don't know if you see on Barstool or not the Big Cat Power Rankings, and he goes through and he's like, he basically ranks the teams after each week, and basically the last I don't know how long May's been starting. What, 5 weeks now? 6 weeks. Every time he has the Patriots in that, fun when Drake May plays, fun to watch, but knows that they're not very good. They're still the lower tier. And that to me was a big part of Sunday where I was saying this to my father was like, the Rams they're not very good. They're mid tier, but they're still a tier above us.
Right.
We're trying to play to take
That's
that
right.
tier, after last week against Chicago, like, are we going to take that next year or not? And they didn't because they just weren't better. Obviously, May had a chance to drive him down the field, and miscommunication happened. Which, by the way, I'm dying to hear your points. I've heard a lot of debate. Some people were saying it was Douglas's fault, May's fault. I think it was both of their faults, but mostly I would blame May on that play. But what are your thoughts on that?
What do you think, Rubber Shoes?
I think Douglas never looked until
that's true,
very late. So the throw was definitely off, but I think if Douglas was looking earlier, he could have made a play to save the interception, at least, maybe make a spectacular catch, but at least break up the interception. So it's a little on both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to that point in the game, right? And the smallest little things make the biggest difference, right? And they didn't really have, in my opinion, they didn't have any business winning that game anyways. So would have been nice to see them make that connection, but it's just talking heads fodder, like what we're doing, just to talk about whose fault it is. Rubber Shoes, you feel better, worse, the same about the Patriots this week than you did last week? The way you care about it, like Scotty and I might think about it differently than you do. But
I like seeing Kendrick Bourne back and
yep.
making some plays. I don't understand if he was punished last week by not playing, or if they just wanted to give Thornton another chance to try and do something, because that was very strange where they said before the game that he wasn't going to play, and so I don't know.
Really they never really explained it. It wasn't like Marcus or Malcolm Butler thing, but it wasn't. It was weird. It was definitely a weird thing. The only thing that I heard was that they said they actually said this to Bourne as well, that directly to him, they wanted to have the young guys have a shot because there was there was times like Baker and Polk were on the field at the same time. Which, by the way, Baker and Polk were on the field. That late false start penalty that happened like late in the game that cost them the fourth down conversion potentially. But yes, like why are they on there? Why isn't Bourne on there? You know what I mean? Like what the formation was. I definitely questioned the coaching this week for sure. With all the blitzing, like stop blitzing Matt Stafford. He's absolutely destroying you. Just stop, please. So the coaching was not great. I thought this week was pretty glaringly horrible. The coaching was not well done.
What's your take on coaching? Like the NFL is so trigger happy with getting rid of coaches after a year. I feel like they never get a chance to like really get their footing. I mean, you're a first year coach. Yeah, Gerard Mayo knows how to play football, but he's learning how to coach football. I mean, it's a totally different thing.
That's a different conversation. That's more talking about the owner making that decision to bring in a guy that's never coached football.
Well, that's another thing altogether, right?
That's what I mean. But I don't think either. Actually, I don't think either Van Pelt or Mayo have to worry about their jobs after this year. I don't know about you, Billy, but I think they're, especially the way that they are progressing upward.
Yeah, sure.
It's inch at a time. It's not super fast, but they don't have much to work with, right? So
right.
Billy, I don't know if you. I think they're fine this year. I think
the big thing with Van Pelt is it's not winning games. Are you getting Drake May to get better week to week? And I think together they are. You're afraid this. I think the play calling's been better for the team, and Drake May. I tell you, people are gushing about him, even though he lost this weekend. A lot of people are saying this was his best week yet, even though he ended with a interception to end the game, and that's two games out of the last 3 that he's done that. But he's learning, and it's a big step from college to the pros. Yeah. The players are all elite out there. You figure in college, you're playing, most teams might have 1 or 2 players on the defense that you're playing against that are NFL level. And now you're playing, the whole team is that level. So you see something, you think it's there, and then it's not, it shuts down really quick. So I'm happy with him. I do want to see this group get a chance to get better and get more. They need more players. They really. Yeah. It's not, the draft isn't going to take care of this. They need a draft, and they need to sign players other than their own next year.
They got plenty of money. They got plenty of money. That's for sure. So they should be able to.
Says you. They have
I think.
Well, that's one thing I'm worried about. That are they going to start doing what the Red Sox have been doing?
I don't think so, because if you look the last time, they thought they had a decent chance to like bring in some legit free agents. Because you look at the last year's free agent class wasn't all that great. Yeah. And a lot of them has turned out not great either. But when they've obviously brought in some of the wrong players. Well, one of them was right, Hunter Henry, and they went and they got Smith and a bunch of others, and Judon and stuff like that. But I think also this past offseason, no one really wanted to come here because they didn't know who was going to be the quarterback, right? And now that they see Drake's going to help, I think, with that free agency. Speaking of May, your point too, Billy, there was a stat I heard yesterday, actually, that Jaden Daniels, he started like 58 collegiate games. And compare that to May, who only started, I think, 26 or 23, something like that. It's wild. He's 22 years old. The kid's super young.
Speaking of that is that just what Oregon's going to do? They're just going to keep starting 50-year seniors every year? Because they had Bo Nix last year that played forever in college, and now the guy they have now, same thing. It's like, are they just going to cherry pick like the best quarterbacks that are available in the portal? So the BC quarterback will probably end up there next year.
Yeah.
That's why the portal sucks, because
I agree 100%. I think NIL and they should get paid. I agree with them being able to get paid, but the NIL and the portal are gonna kill college sports.
Oh, no question about it. All right, let's do one last thing on the Pats, and then we'll move on to happier days. Well, we're making progress with the Pats,
But
so I wouldn't say it's bad
so
news. But
just one quick thing, going back
yeah.
to hockey real quick, because you said
Oh.
that the NFL is really bad. Well, that's the reason why the Bruins still have a shot, because the NHL is
NHL is
pretty
so
bad
bad.
right now. They have a bad record, but they're still only like a few points out of the playoff spot, so they're not that bad off if they can get things going in the right direction.
I
Okay,
gotcha.
back to
Yeah,
football.
yeah. We were Scotty. We were talking about it last week. That I mean, obviously they lost this week, so it's a moot point. But if the Pats had been able to rattle off a few wins here, they're like mid pack already. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I mean, something's happening here. But nonetheless, it didn't happen. So I wanted to just touch base on. Go ahead, Rubber
So the pre games yesterday morning, like they all had the playoff picture, and in the hunt, the Patriots were in the hunt, and then the nighttime shows after their loss, they were no longer in
They weren't
the
in the hunt
teams. I was like, oh, that's.
I mean, it's such a long shot, but it's true. I mean, they kind of were in the hunt if they had won
sucks.
yesterday.
It's like, I know I sound like I want them to lose all the time, but I am a fan. I am rooting for them. I want them to do good, and it's hard. It's like I think the best way for them to get better quicker is to have better draft picks, and so that's the only reason why I want them to have a bad record. And there's so many teams down there, and there's such a bunch of teams down there that are in that 2 to 3 win level. It's crazy.
I'm happy, like, losing like they did this past Sunday, knowing they're going to get a better draft pick. I'm okay with that type of feeling. It's when they're getting crushed and they're looking like shit, and what I mean.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
So when I went the game that I went to, it was against Miami, and
who they're playing this week,
and they had a chance to win. It was a good game. They were in it. It was exciting to watch, and then they at the last minute they lose. So it's kind of best
of both worlds.
Something to watch. Yeah, so that's like the perfect scenario.
Oh, that's funny. Listen, if the Detroit Lions aren't in the playoffs, Rubber Shoes is rooting for us. I guess this is how it goes. All right, on the defense.
Sorry,
I just want to.
That was great. That Buffalo pulled that off. Although Josh Allen at Buffalo he's 4-0 against Kansas City in the regular season and 0-3 in the playoffs.
My buddy Chris had a great line last night. He's like, you know how I know it's November? Because he just beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I was like, yep.
That's to do it in the playoffs this year.
Yeah. Right.
I don't care who knocks off the Chiefs in the stupid playoffs. I just hope it's somebody. I mean, the Chiefs are so suspect this year. It's not even funny. So, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they could lose in the playoffs this year. Also,
I kept waiting for.
Oh, did he? I didn't see that.
Tyquan Thornton's going to be a Chief. Yeah, it's freaking stupid.
Right.
I kept waiting last night for a penalty on the Bills, or them not. Yeah, I was like, we're just all three of us sitting there watching the game. We're like, okay, here it is. Is this what it's going to be? They're going to pull it out their ass because the refs help them.
Oh God. All right. I just wanted to touch last thing on the Pats, and then we'll move on to the Celtics. I wanted to just get your take on the defense. It's been, I would say sort of up and down a little bit this season, to understate it. What are we making progress there? I know Drake May has made progress. I know the offense is making progress. Do we feel like the defense is coming along as well, or we still got a long way to go?
It's tough. I mean, they had a lot of, when they had lapses, they had big lapses.
Yeah.
They bowed up a couple of times in the fourth quarter to get the ball back to the offense, right? So they definitely did some good things, but their mistakes were large. And that just shows that they're young. They are stupid young still. Keon White still over pursues like a bastard. The kid's like 24, 25 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Christian Ellis looked really good, actually, the rookie from Ohio State. He played a lot of snaps, and I thought he looked good on especially his blitz and stuff, but he also made some bonehead mistakes too. So they're young. They're like stupid, really,
Right.
really, really young. It was good to see Barnmore out there. I think that's going to help them a lot.
Yep.
Coming back, I was super excited to see him. He looked winded, but it's been a while. So, everyone's in week 11 mode and he's like in preseason. I'm like, dude, so yeah, but it was good to see him. I think they'll grow. I think they're young. You'll definitely going to see a lot of, I think, changes. I will say Jonathan Jones is not starting next year. If he is, he's going to be in the slot or something. I don't know, but they need a better number 2 across from Gonzalez.
No question.
They lost a lot on defense this year.
Yeah, they did.
People don't realize, McCourty gone, Judon gone.
Yeah.
Barmore was missing until this week, so
Juwan Bentley, not what I mean. He played the first week and he was out.
Yep.
I think Gonchar's been out sometimes too this year. So, and
then Uche didn't decide to play football anymore, and they traded him for like a 4th round pick or something. But it's definitely been devastated on that side of the ball. But they're good. There's going to be a lot of moves, man, this offseason.
Yeah, it will be an interesting offseason. And, it'll be a long one for us, which we've been used to for the last couple of years, but that's okay. As long as there's something to talk about, something interesting going on with the Pats, it's kind of how I feel is at this point, that's fun. And we'll keep it moving and hopefully build on
3-0 Blue Jackets.
Oh, well, Rubber Shoes, the bearer of bad news today.
Speaking of scores, are we doing our Pat scores now?
Oh, we could do that. Yeah, sure. Right. Let's go around the horn. Who wants to go first? You want to go first, Scotty?
Sure.
All right, go ahead.
Right now, it looks like Miami's getting 7. So total is 46.5.
Okay.
So, for the over/under, I'm gonna say they concussed Tua again.
Oh,
that's dark. That went to a really dark place.
Really dark.
That was my first thought of the game for next week.
For a guy who's going under the knife in 2 days, that's really dark. You're tempting fate right now.
That's not good. Yeah. Shit. So Tua survives the game perfectly fine and healthy.
Yeah, there you go.
But he still loses. It's I'm gonna say 28-20, 28-27.
Ooh, tight one. All right, Rubber Shoes, what do you got?
Man, NFL is so hard to pick. From week to week, you can have a team that looks so good one week, and then the next week they look like total dog shit. In Miami, well, the good thing is we've had unseasonably warm weather up here, so it's not like they're going to be going down, and dying down there. I think as long as Miami doesn't get any major injuries between now and next Sunday, they got too much talent for the Patriots.
Oh no!
I'm gonna go 21-17 Dolphins.
Oh God!
Just
we need a trombone sound
don't
effect
throw
for
it.
Rubber Shoes picks.
Keep it away from Ramsey.
All right.
I don't need him.
What is it? 21-17? 21-17? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I think we're going to run up the score on the Dolphins. I think we're going to put up our first 30 burger of the season, I believe, thinking back to previous games. I think it would be our first 30 burger. So I'm going to say 31-17 Pats.
Like it.
So there you go. Two picks for the good guys, 1 pick for the not surprising bad guy from Lowell, Massachusetts. All right. Speaking of the great state of Massachusetts, the Boston Celtics are playing exceptionally good basketball right now. I would say already
before you want to move on to the Celtics, do you want to touch on baseball real quick?
No. What about baseball? What?
Juan Soto. No, there is stuff to talk about with
the
baseball.
2025 Hall of Fame ballot newcomers are out.
All right, let's hear
Dustin
it.
Dustin Pedroia is on the list.
All right.
Woo!
All right, let's go. You think he gets in?
Hell, fuck yeah.
Really? First ballot? Let's go.
I think so.
All right. You wouldn't put Al Horford in, but you'll put Dustin Pedroia in. Okay, got it.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah.
MVP.
Yeah.
Multiple-time World Series champion. Gold Glover.
Okay.
Horford cannot. You can't put accolades with Al Horford compared to Dustin Pedroia. Are you out of your mind?
Raise Marcus Smart into the rafters. Let's go.
Yeah,
right.
I think he's a Hall of Famer, but I don't think he'll make it on the ballot on this year's ballot because just the Baseball Writers Association are a bunch of assholes and
There's
idiots.
Too many Cincinnati Reds.
It's I don't understand their. It's like if the guy's a Hall of Famer, he's a Hall of Famer. Not, well, I'm not picking him this year because he's not elite. He shouldn't be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I don't understand. It's like if the guy's a Hall of Famer, he's a Hall of Famer. You put him on the first year. But because they're idiots, they won't put him on this year. I think he makes it on next year.
I mean, trust me, I'm all for him getting in. I think he should be. But I kind of am leaning towards Rubber Shoes. I'm not sure he gets in first ballot, but you listed off a pretty good resume, and it's a couple of things I had forgotten about. So, I'm kind of maybe getting there. So we'll see. But thank you for bringing that up, Rubber Shoes. But if you could do it before we start the show, that would be great. So we could.
It popped up in my feed. During so I was like, oh, I forgot that happened today. So
that's all right. That's all right. Okay, let's get to the Celtics. I've been champing at the bit, as Timmy would say, to get to the Celtics, and I have to say I am well all in on the Celtics, obviously, but I am I just get nervous with these stupid games when we play the teams that have their scrubs in. And I hate to say scrubs because there's no NBA teams that really have a ton of scrubs, right? I mean, the Raptors are not a team full of scrubs. The Hawks, even when we played them, they played really, really well and really deserved to win the game. So, that being said, we're 11-3. I'm not jumping off any bridges yet. I think we're playing well. We don't have Porzingis. We've been, JB's been in and out of the lineup.
Very close.
Very close. Well, it's almost December, and they did say he'd be back in December. So
he was practicing with the. Actually, you might get to see him up in Maine. I wonder if he'll play a game up there before. He's been practicing with the Maine Celtics today.
You can't say that to me. I'm not going to have an Achilles, so it's going to be hard for me to get up there.
Listen, you can get a handicap spot, can't you? Can't you get a handicap?
That's what they made painkillers for.
Luna, go. Sorry, I'm yelling at my dog. Go. Go.
Luna's a good name for a dog, though. I didn't know that was your dog's name. That's a good name for a dog.
What I think happens with Porzingis is he's going to be ready before December, but they won't play him until December. Like he'll play the first game in December because he is trending the right way. Scalabrini on his pre-games, he's been saying that he sees them working out before the games, and he's like, he looks like he's ready to go right now. I think they're holding him back right now. I think if the playoffs started tomorrow night, they would play him.
And honestly, that speaks to the depth of the team,
right?
In my opinion, right? You know what I mean? They're 11-3. They have the second best record in the East. We'll get to the Cavs in a second. But then the fact that we our third best player, and we're just debatable, I guess, between him and Holiday, or actually him and White, really. But anyway, can take their time. You know what I mean, to get back. That's a pretty amazing job by them.
So you think is Holiday going to play tomorrow night? He's missed 2 games in a row.
Yeah, I don't know.
It'll be interesting.
For my fantasy, I hope not, because I have Peyton Pritchard on my team.
Dude,
from the game perspective, absolutely.
He's been fine even when they've had the full team.
He's been what a start, man. Such a great start.
And that's a great pickup by you for having him on your fantasy team too.
Yeah, I think when you said something about him last week, I picked him up.
Yeah.
That the funny thing is, to your point, Scotty, about like, our third best player is out. We're not really rushing him back. The one real luxury that the Celtics have, a couple of teams have, but we, really us and maybe OKC is our depth. And the fact that we have such depth that we can be without a star for, I mean, how many games did JB miss? He missed like 4 or 5 games, right? He missed a handful of games. So, and we were out without him. I think we lost one of the games that he was out. And so, we're
against Golden State,
right? And boy, did Golden State look good! Holy crap!
Honestly, I'm really surprised about some of these other teams. To be honest with you, I honestly look Philadelphia. I know they're missing a ton of people, but I thought they were more. They're 2-10 or 2-7, something like that.
Well,
I
I don't
mean,
think
when your
they had
star
their
is
full.
doubled
I don't
over,
think they've had their full team yet.
No, they
Yeah.
have.
Play.
No. Embiid's been back for
No, but I
2
think
games now?
George was out, wasn't he? Or Maxey was out.
Maxey's been
Maxey
out. No,
was out.
Maxey's been
Yeah.
out.
Was
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
But still, it's like, oh my god, it's just
Yeah,
terrible.
but
I mean,
they
the
had
Bucks.
Embiid back, but they
What
had
about the
Embiid
Bucks,
at
though?
like.
I mean,
the Bucks
don't
are crazy.
Yeah, the Bucks though. Chris Middleton. I mean,
Yeah, is he ever going to come back?
But is he that? Is the team missing that one piece, and he's
No.
going to come back and fix everything?
They showed last year.
Well, the game against the
they're not the
Celtics-
same team. One, they got rid of their best defensive player, and they brought in a guy who just thinks about shooting. And he's out with a concussion right now. He might be coming back their next game. Lillard's been out, so unfortunately, sorry, Scotty. I think they're gonna lose tomorrow night.
Come on.
Freaking Mitchell sat yesterday. He's resting up just to play this game. He wants to come in, and I don't care. I could give zero shits about this stupid NBA Cup.
Well, see,
soon to be called the LeBron Cup. And obviously,
you're wrong.
I don't think the Celtics really care about it. Would it be nice if they won it? But I mean, them losing to Hawks they didn't seem like they had that extra fire. Like, oh, we want to win this cup. But
I would say, Rubber Shoes. I would say I don't disagree with you that they don't really care about the NBA Cup. But I would say that they're a team full of obviously competitors that want to be considered the best team in the NBA, right? And nobody's really talking about them right now.
June.
No, but I'm saying nobody's really talking about them right now because everybody's talking about how great Cleveland is. And I know, Scotty, you have some stuff you want to say about Cleveland, but to me, the Celtics will show up for tomorrow night's game. I will. I don't know if we're going to make predictions, but I will say I think the Celtics will win tomorrow night. And I think the Cavs have had kind of an easy road, to be honest with you. I mean,
well, plus they've been 100% healthy.
Yeah.
Look at the East. They've played so
100%.
The East has
right
4 teams, the 3 teams above 500 or 500 and above. That's it. It's so bad. The East is
what's
so
crazy
bad.
though is like if you look at the Bulls, right? They played the Bulls the other night and they beat them pretty good. But the Bulls aren't a horrible team. Like on any given night, the Bulls could have a game, right? And the Bulls make me nervous. The Bulls always make me nervous. But I hear what you're saying. So what do you think? You think the Cavs are for real or no?
I think they're a good basketball team. Yeah. Are they 15, 16 and 0 good? No, I didn't. No way. Love Evan Mobley. The kid's an absolute stud. Garland's playing, they're deep, they're talented, they run at a good pace. I think they're coached well. But I think from my perspective, the Celtics wouldn't try to win, to your point, Billy, for the cup, because I don't think they care about the cup. Yeah. But to Adam's point, I think they would win because they want to win because they want to be like, no, we're better than you. We know we're better than you. It doesn't matter that you're undefeated, and we want to be the ones to knock you off. I think that's why they would win or want to win. I do also think that like the Joe Mazzulla, like
you're cooking,
talking about like the jersey. Did you see that response?
Bro, hold on, bro.
No,
rubber shoes.
Hey, so
you gotta mute your microphone.
This is a subject that Tyler has
dude.
ranting on for the last 2 weeks. He's gonna sit in for me.
Oh,
for this
part
about the Cavaliers.
Scotty was in the middle of talking.
That's okay. It's okay.
What's going on?
I don't know. Tag him. If he tags him, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind. Oh, if he would have like tagged him, that would have been amazing.
Oh, here he is. Oh, we've been missing you. We've been missing you. What shoes are we wearing today?
Get to work. Huh?
What shoes are we wearing today?
Nothing.
No shoes?
No, I'm cooking in my house.
What are you cooking?
Where's the oh, it's webcam. I'm making like some buffalo chicken.
Oh, delicious.
Anyways, no, I'm glad I get to get this off my chest. I had a Coke Zero out there, but
all right, let's go. All right, let's hear it. You got about 30 seconds because Scotty was in the middle of his point. So go ahead.
It's okay.
Oh, unfortunate. No, my main point is that I'm absolutely not scared of the Cavaliers at all.
Okay.
I have seen them do this probably for the last 4 years. I think even before Donovan Mitchell, they had a somewhat similar team and started like the first month in first and then like fell way out. Um, it's the same exact team that was last year, pretty much. I don't care. Like I said it before, they could beat us by 15 tonight. I would not care because everything's going to even out. They're a first round playoff team. About the East is so bad they could make the Eastern Conference Finals just because there's no talent, but compared to us, they are nowhere near.
Well,
And a lot of teams have this beginning of the season where it looks like, oh, they're legit. I remember the Jazz did that a couple years ago, where the Jazz were like 1-2 seed and then they didn't even make the playoffs. I feel like teams just do this. I've seen Darius Garland look good and then forget how to play basketball like 2 seasons in a row. Donovan Mitchell will either be really good or get hurt, and everyone else forgets. Jared Allen will probably be hurt. And once again, if they beat us tonight, we don't have Porzingis. If we play them in the playoffs, it'd be different.
Yeah, all right. That's a fair point.
But wait, how hard is it to root for the Celtics when, like, your father said the opposite, by the way. I'm pretty sure he's in there being like, they're not going to win tonight. How do you live with that, man?
It's awful. It's awful.
Like, I expect us to win, and I hope we kill them, but I'm just saying that I still wouldn't be moved. If you also look, they haven't beaten that many good teams.
That's what I was saying. Their schedule has been pretty soft. Your dad's the only guy who shows up to a Boston sports podcast and picks against all of the Boston teams that were playing this week.
Like the other thing, if you look historically at the other teams that have had this type of record, I think the only team that did anything were the Golden State from a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I guess not a couple now. It makes me feel old, but like 2015 or whatever. But like I know like there's like a Hawks team that went like 60. Like it's all like teams that did nothing.
Yeah.
So it's not like history shows that.
No, it definitely is. It's early. That's why I'm not.
That's
the undefeated thing is what it is. They're not the 70.
Sometimes people play out of their mind. De'Aaron Fox had 60 points the other night. People just get good at the beginning sometimes.
Yeah.
Listen, you got fresh legs. You didn't play through deep into the playoffs, and you come out. They have a new coach, right?
So they didn't play that much. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
they're not the 96 Bulls. We'll be
I think, yeah.
No, I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to be good.
Yeah.
Well, little shoes. It was a pleasure to have you pop in and share your Cleveland Cavs takes. Do you have any other hot takes from around the NBA while we're on the topic?
Any other hot takes from around the NBA? I will say I think that the Golden State Warriors aren't like the Cavs, and I think they are actually pretty legit.
Okay. All right.
If they stay healthy, right? Yeah.
I mean, if Steph's playing 25 minutes a game, something like that.
Yeah, and Buddy Hield's been a good fit. I think the Thunder is who we're going to play in the finals.
Okay.
And I think by the end of this year, Giannis will be on a different team.
That is a hot take.
I could see that.
I saw that the Rockets were looking into that.
Yeah, I've heard the Rockets, and people will keep saying the Nets. I mean, the Knicks, not the Nets, the Knicks.
Weird. And also, speaking of early season hangovers here, well, not whatever you want to call it, Rockets are 10-4.
Right.
They're number 2 seed. Does anyone really think that's going to last? Like,
of course.
It's
they are pretty good. And if they had Giannis, they'd be
Jalen Green.
He is good. I like him too. But
I do like him. Did you?
I think people just forget about.
All right. So you pick the OKC coming out of the West, and you have the Celtics coming out of the East.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like that. Where do we think Orlando is going to land?
It's going to be tough because they don't have Paulo for probably another month.
Yeah.
But I think they looked good, and it was a sustained good. Because you could argue they're pretty much in the same spot as Cavaliers. They went to 7 games last year.
Yeah.
No one watched those games, by the way. It's always funny to think about.
Yeah, nobody cares.
The one 7-game playoff series that no one cared about. But I think they're with Paulo are better than the Cavs are. Like depth wise. Paulo has been awesome, and I think people just don't care because it's Orlando.
Let me put this to you, Scotty. You gotta go 1 through 4 finishing in the East. Who's 1 through 4? You had to pick right now.
Right now? Well, Celtics. I'd say, Celtics, Knicks, Pacers. I can see Cavs at 4.
Okay.
I think I got like Cavs 4 or 5. I think Orlando, once again, we'll see how that is. That they can get up there. And as much as I hate them, I do think that the Sixers will eventually figure it out.
I mean, it depends if Joel Embiid is kicked or not. Yeah, He looked pretty bad the other night. I gotta
Yes,
be
I hope
honest.
I'm the
He
biggest
looked
Joel
awful.
Embiid hater that's ever lived. So I hope his career's over. But
Well,
talent wise, if they have their
that is a
people, I
bold,
think
sir. That is a bold statement. That there's a lot of people hate that motherfucker. that is a bold statement, sir.
and I don't think the Bucks are going to get it figured out. That's why I think
no, I
Giannis
don't
might be
think
gone.
so either.
So it's another hot take. Doc Rivers is horrible. I hate him so much.
Oh, I love Doc Rivers, but only because of what he did for the Celtics. I mean, he's
And
been
to my
not great
argument,
everywhere else he's gone.
To my argument, 08 Celtics might be best team all time because they found a way to win with Doc Rivers, and they should have won more. So,
I mean, they made it to the finals in 2010 too, so it's not like.
And they got torched by freaking Gasol.
Did you see Rondo on the Pierce podcast? That was a good one. If you haven't seen that, you should go check it out.
Check that out. I'll let my dad's staring at me. I'm gonna let him go back.
Oh, all right. Let him get back here. Let him get back here to tell us which Boston team is going to lose next.
He said I'm good.
Funny.
Oh, he's good. Well, I don't want your buffalo chicken to go bad, but
I had him finish my food for me, so we're good. Trying to think of any other interesting NBA things to share that I feel.
Listen, oh my God, I think it would be fun if we just had our kids do the show one day. That would be pretty funny. It could be little.
That would get interesting really quick.
Yeah, yeah, it would.
Yeah, I don't know how well that would go. I really don't.
All right, let's go. Let's take a kind of a deep dive into the Celtics, though. We sort of brushed the surface of them to go, into like the Cavs and the Eastern Conference. But from a Celtics standpoint, Scotty, where are you? Are you still at? You think they're defending? I know you said you picked them one, but do you still feel like they're as dominant as they were last year? Think they've gone up a level or stayed the same? Where's your head at?
It's funny. It's. I'm not actually. Well, I won't say this out loud. Never mind. It's a thought I have in my head that it's dynastic is like a word that you would describe it, like of how I picture them and potentially where they could go. But I don't want to use that because you throw that shit out there. It's bad karma. But no, I think they look great. I think they still have their moments of, well, everybody's going to make a run in the NBA, but they make theirs a little bit more difficult sometimes. Yeah. But it's the same team. They're playing really well together. They know each other. Tatum traveled so bad the other night, but that's okay. I'm glad they didn't call it. But no, I honestly think they're steady Eddie right now, man. 11-3 is not a fluke. 11-3 is, you're going to take that every 14, 15 games, that kind of record. So no, I think they look great.
What about you, Little Shoes?
I agree. I feel the same way I did last year. I'm more confident because last year I still had that like slight doubt of what I've seen from Celtics teams before, where it's like, oh, what's going to happen? But
yeah,
they're barring injuries, knock on wood, like they're the same team. I feel like they're only going to be better. I think a lot of it shows how like views on teams once they've won the championship change because there's so many like I would say new fans, but like new eyes on it where like people were like, oh my God, I can't believe they lost to that Hawks team without their stars. And as a Celtics fan that's watched every game, like for whatever, that's the game I expect them to lose.
100%.
It's just how they've always been. And they had games like that last year.
Yep.
I remember like, every freaking Orlando game the last 4 years with the Pistons, they gave us trouble. And then we lost the Nuggets a bunch and the Clippers. And I think people forget that's exactly how last year went. And we obviously still won the championship.
Well, remember the Lakers game, the game they played against the Lakers, and everybody's like, LeBron's out, AD's out, we're gonna run him off the court. Yeah, we're gonna run him off the court, and we got killed. So it's like, and at home, by the way. So it's just the way it's the way they go.
And it's almost I don't know if it's a good problem, but we struggle against the teams we should beat, which we don't play those teams in the playoffs. So it's like that, like we're not gonna play the Detroit Pistons with 5 bench players as their starters in the playoffs. And that's when we seem to get off key when they don't take them seriously.
Yeah.
So we end up blowing out the good teams because that's when they actually try.
And the other thing is too, I always think of the Golden State game and that loss. I do think they struggle with agendas, right? They came in there with the agenda to be like, Steve Kerr, whatever. And they don't,
makes sense.
They struggle with that, for whatever reason. It's a wild thing too, especially with the talent they have.
Right.
I think another thing with that is, and which goes on to how they've played and how they are in the playoffs. I feel like there's a big difference between agendas that get made around here and by the media compared to what their agendas are. Because if you really looked at their energy and how Tatum acted, I don't really think many of them had that like F Steve Kerr mentality. And I don't think Tatum's that type of guy where he's like very rarely where he's like, oh, I'm gonna go out there and freaking shove it down their throat and show them. In the regular season at least. Whereas when they have an agenda like freaking Game 7 against Philly 2 years ago, like they went out there and blew the brakes off because that's one they actually believed in. I think that people get too far scooped up in stuff they think and don't realize that, you know, it's a regular season game against the Warriors. Do they really care that much? Like, I'm sure, yeah, you want to show him, but I don't think he was like ready to freaking Kobe Bryant 82 points on them, you know?
I mean, he did play very well, but I mean, I think if he was rolling, I feel like it would have been a little bit different. I feel like he does have that dog in him, as the kids say. But yeah, I'm so old.
You really
but yeah,
are.
I think
really
it depends. I mean, and I think actually I will say this though, where that confidence comes from that you were talking about earlier, with the Celtics, you know, where before you'd always be like, well, they're probably gonna blow it, but they did it, right? So
yeah,
for Celtics fans, it's like, yeah, I feel like they're gonna be able to come back and win. They're gonna, you know what I mean? They have that second level they're gonna keep taking it to, and that's I think where a lot of our confidence comes from, especially thinking like 11-3 again, not a fluke. This isn't like a stupid small thing.
And it helps obviously that once again you look at the East and you just go like,
yeah,
you're almost struggling to figure out who we're gonna play in the playoffs
Yeah.
because so many teams don't even look.
it's so
Like
bad.
I'm sure somehow we'll end up playing Miami, even though I don't even know what seed they are. They're completely irrelevant. But
All right, Scotty. Here's one out of left field. So I'm gonna hit you with this. I didn't tell you I was gonna do this, but Peyton Pritchard is the starting point guard for which NBA team in 2026?
Jesus.
I'm asking the question
that's
because
a really
I know.
hard question.
is that when his contract would be up?
I think
yeah,
it's up
right?
in 2026, and
Yeah.
and I'm asking the question because, I mean, the way he comes into the game is he could run a NBA team. I mean, there's a lot of guard talent in the NBA, but he could certainly be
I
a
don't see
guy.
him leaving Boston though. Like if he keeps
No?
playing the way that he is, no. Drew Holiday's 38 or something, dude. Like he's up there in age.
True.
He's only. I know they just extended him for a couple of years, but Peyton Pritchard, if he's the one right behind him, great. I don't think the Celtics would lose that. Again, depending on, I mean, at the end of 26 or the beginning of 26.
I can't remember when his contract is up.
Okay, because I'm like, there's a big difference there.
Yeah.
Because it depends how old, you know, Brown, Tatum, you know what I mean? At that point, they're, in theory, their run might start to decline a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping it is
spin?
a run. Hoping it is a run. That's obviously a big, but you asked me like this ridiculous, grandiose question. Fucking future. Like,
Well, I know you love Peyton Pritchard, and I wanted
DeLorean. I don't know what the hell's going to happen.
I know. Listen, you can make it up out of thin air. It's all right. All right. And then the other thing I wanted to ask is when Porzingis comes back, is it Keita first off it's got to be Keita first off the bench, right? I mean, it's not going to be Cornette because it was Cornette last year. It's not going to be Cornette this year. It's got to be Keita, right?
Go ahead, Tyler. You can go first on that one.
To piggyback on the first thing you said, which gives you maybe more of an answer you're looking for, not going off hypothetical contract and the situation for our team, but I do believe genuinely, not even being a green teamer, I think that almost every team in the NBA, Pritchard would realistically be a starter on, like right now.
Agreed.
Well,
your answer could have been the Celtics. You could have said the Celtics.
I did say. I think I did.
You kind of did in a round.
I just came because
Sorry.
As for the backup center role, I think Mazzulla gets in a bit of a. It seems only with the center position where he just changes his mind like every week.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. That's weird.
But I would definitely hope Keita would be the backup there. But I also don't know how injury wise he would be. I don't really know his history of that. But
good.
He just seems like a guy that he probably has had injury issues.
It's funny because he has had a nice run here, but before this run, he was sort of up and down, right? You weren't really sure what you were going to get from him.
But it's
Especially he's probably going to be out of the league if we didn't get him. You know, that was probably his last chance.
I mean, he played like crazy in the G League last year. Yeah, in summer league.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler, we have like just a couple minutes left, so why don't you hand the mic back to your dad so we can you can eat your food or make more food.
It's yeah, meal prep,
Yeah, there you go. And it was
you.
good seeing you. Thank you for
Yes, very
coming
good
on and
seeing you.
sharing your
See you,
hot
buddy.
takes. Appreciate
Of
it.
course. All right,
All
no
right.
problem.
Now we can find out who the Lakers are going to beat in the, in the play-in.
He never answered the question, by the way. Like
Which
how
is
easy
what?
it was. To you got one fan rooting and the other fan
Oh
not.
yeah.
He
Yeah.
never answered that question.
All right, let's go. Rubber Shoes, it's good to have you back. Let's go around the horn. What are we doing? Celtics pick for tomorrow night. Scotty will be in the building. No steak tips in his seat, but he will be there. And do we think that they will? You've already said
Joey
you think
will be
they're
there
gonna lose.
tomorrow night too.
Who will? Joey.
Yeah, Joey
Oh,
will
okay.
definitely be in the.
All right, give me your. You already said they were going to lose, but give me
For
your.
Achilles, they should invite me to the suite.
He'll be in his regular season tickets are 7 rows behind the Celtics bench.
That works too.
Yeah, Scotty's not picky, really. I'm sure.
Yeah. They're very nice seats.
All right, what do you got? What do you got, Rubber Shoes?
I gotta stick with what I said. I think it's only the only reason it's not because of their record coming in. One, I think they're a healthier, full team than the Celtics are right now, so that's why I lean towards them. I think it's going to be a good game. May go. So I'll be the Nostradamus Timmy pick. That it's going to go into triple overtime.
It's gonna be a late night for us.
Donovan Mitchell hits a 3 at the buzzer to win it.
Wow.
So 153 to 150.
Not only is Rubber Shoes picking against the Celtics, he's picking against them to lose in the most heartbreaking fashion possible in the regular
season. Long game, yeah.
And then the Celtics will be officially eliminated from the
NBA
stupid
Cup.
LeBron Cup.
LeBron Cup. All right, Scotty, I'm pretty sure I know where you land, but let's see what you have for the Celtics Cavs game tomorrow night.
I think it finishes in regulation. No triple overtime.
I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong with that. I want to go to bed at a decent time.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I just go home, man. I'm old.
Oh yeah, you got to drive home after that too.
Seriously,
Yeah.
what the hell?
Oh,
Get out of
sorry.
there.
Back up the main. Okay. They call it at halftime. How about that?
No, I think it's going to be a really good game. I think I can see the Celtics taking it in regulation, but 8 points, 8-point win. I think it'll be a solid game. It'll come down near the end, and they'll make more plays at the end, and then hold on.
Maybe Tatum will hit it in regulation this time.
Oh, Rubber Shoes. We're not done yet. We're coming back to that. Hang on a second. So I say it's going to be a high-scoring game because the Cavs move fast, and we like to move fast. I think we win 129 to 120. Where's Rubber Shoes going? I still have something else to ask him. 129 to 123. The Celtics win, and it's a definitive. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's a season-defining win for the Celtics, and they just go on a run as Porzingis comes back. I like it, Rubber Shoes. All right, Rubber Shoes. Before we
got him in the Air Jordan pose.
I love it. Before we go, Rubber Shoes, and I hope I'm not keeping everybody awake past.
I didn't get to do my research this weekend. I'm sorry.
Oh, you didn't do your research, and we have Scotty here and everything.
Well, maybe he knows off the top of his head.
Well, so we had an argument last week, not an argument, a discussion last week about Rubber Shoes is still unsure as to whether Tatum is clutch or not, and he wanted to do some additional research to find out what his record is in clutch games. And so he texted me at, I don't know, it was like 10:30 at night, whatever, that the game went into overtime when Tatum missed the free throw. And he was like, see, he's not clutch. He's not clutch. He's going to have to redeem himself in overtime.
I did say hopefully he can redeem himself. Yes, and he did.
And he did, even though Scotty thinks he traveled, but that's okay.
Oh, the NBA said he traveled.
Oh, yeah. The NBA said it? Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, okay.
And if you look at the replay, it's
he
literally has the ball in his hand.
He shuffled.
He shuffled.
Okay, so
good.
Did they say that they missed a foul call on Brown too?
I mean, there's missed calls all the time. It's just,
of course.
It's I mean, the NBA. So NBA is horribly officiated.
If you want to, Scotty, I don't know if you're going to be here next week. If you want to weigh in on the clutch thing, because Rubber Shoes is going to do Thanksgiving research and find out whether Tatum is clutch by the numbers or not. But eye test wise, is Tatum to you a clutch player?
Not like a top 5 clutch player right now. I'd put him in top 10, yes, but I'd put him in the clutch category. Is he one of the most clutch players in the league?
Thinking,
No.
The reason why I'm saying this is I feel like when he gets the ball either down 3 or even they're up 3 with less than 2 minutes to go, where he could hit a shot to tie it or hit a shot to put the dagger in, I feel like he misses more than he hits in those big situations. That's it. I'm just going off what I feel I see. I haven't done any research to back it. I test. That's what I feel happens, and I do love Tatum. It's I know you guys think I hate him.
I love him. I love Tatum.
I'm gonna put him in a hug. I'm gonna put him in a hug pose.
I have
hug me.
two Tatum jerseys. I have a pair of Tatum sneakers.
Wow.
So I'm a huge
more
Tatum
than I have
fan.
Rubber Shoes. That's more than I have. Then again, I think I have one Celtics shirt, period. So, which makes, I don't know if that makes me a good or a bad fan. It doesn't matter.
Well, depends if Mike Felger, those type of people, they make fun of adults that wear other adults jerseys. So
yeah, well,
you could be on that side.
I can't stand Mike Felger either. So I mean, let's be honest.
So maybe you better get some more jerseys then.
Maybe I should, so I can prove him wrong. All right, Rubber Shoes, you have homework. You failed miserably in your homework from last week.
Well, I had the work. I was working Saturday
at
the fire station, so I
give you a pass.
I didn't have a full weekend off.
How was the air show? I mean, it wasn't an air show, but how was the air museum that you went to?
Oh, that place was pretty amazing.
Okay.
I totally blown away. So it's the American Heritage Museum. It's in Hudson, Mass. It's like on the Hudson Stowe line, and walk in there, and they have not every era, like they don't start with the Revolutionary War, but it's like from probably World War I up, and they have different, so they have like tanks from every war. It's amazing. Like the real tanks are in there. They got planes
inside the museum.
Yes, I walked in there. I was like, wow, I was not expecting this. There's if you go to the AAA work trucks, any of our social media pages, they posted pictures that I took up when we were there. So I was in front of and they also have a 9/11 piece of steel from one of the buildings in there.
Nice. Rubber Shoes, you were in your dress blues?
Yes.
Excellent. All right, I'm gonna look that up.
I was the only one in.
Very cool. Very cool.
So Leslie was like, "Oh, it's there. It's because of Veterans Day is that week." It was a lot of they actually wanted people to submit pictures of when you were in the military. Apparently, we were the only people that submitted pictures. She submitted 2 pictures of me, and so they ended up not. They wanted to have a slideshow of all the people that were going to be there that were former military, but nobody else submitted any pictures.
Oh man, so. you clean up nice, Rubber Shoes.
Oh yeah,
you look like a real service member. I like it. I like it a lot.
Honesty.
Definitely check it out. If you go to AAA Work Trucks deserves all the love because they're our sponsors anyways. But go to Facebook or Instagram, check it out because Rubber Shoes is looking very sharp in his dress blues. No Magic Johnson jerseys. He's in his legit his legit garb for the pictures. So go check it out. All right. Scotty, are you back? Oh, go ahead, Scotty. What do you got?
This is my last thing. Real quick, because Monday Night Football's on to my left here. Are you guys, when you flip on Monday Night Football, are you watching the main broadcast or the Manning cast if it's available?
Manning cast.
I watched the main broadcast.
That's super. See, I'm a Manning cast guy.
Me too.
I'm with Adam. I'm a Manning.
Yeah,
Nathan does not like it.
I get distracted. I get distracted by so they have an alternate broadcast for the Bruins right now, tonight's game, and it's Raycroft, Bergeron, and Tuca are on.
Oh,
and
that's
they're
cool.
gonna be and Zdeno Chara is gonna be coming like part of the second period. I get distracted because I'm paying attention to them talking more than I pay attention to the game. So that's why I used to watch the Manning cast, but I didn't watch the game. I was watching them and listening to them break down stuff and throw in their zingers at each other. I enjoyed it. I definitely like it, but I can't concentrate on the game when I'm watching it that way.
I mean,
No,
I would agree with you. I would say if and when the Patriots get back on Monday Night Football, which is hopefully maybe next season, probably not, probably 2 seasons from now, I would probably watch the regular broadcast. But any game that the Patriots aren't in, I'm Manning cast 100%. I love the Manning cast. It's so funny.
Yeah, so tonight I have so in the family league, I have Mixon going up against Stroud, and I also have the Dallas kicker. In the league that doesn't matter, the ATB league, I have Mixon going in that league.
Why are we still letting him talk?
In my firefighter league, I have Tank Dell and Mixon going.
Rubbish.
So I like to pay attention to my fantasy players.
do me a favor. Just leave the ATB one off. All right. Next time you're listening up, just leave it on.
So
it's almost embarrassing. You're one of the hosts of the show.
I've been talking behind the scenes with Timmy about this, and
but here's the thing: you make so many moves in that league. But if it doesn't matter, why do you make so many moves?
Oh, I still have pride.
He still wants to win.
But it's because Adams had like a guy that was suspended in for 3 weeks, and so I think we're folding the ATB league next year because it's obviously people don't care about it.
Oh, come on!
What do you mean? I'm playing.
Some people care, but
listen,
the whole league doesn't care. Like if you're gonna, thank God initially we were gonna do for money this year, and it's like you got people that don't care, and they're just giving other people wins that could cost other people playoff spots and stuff like that. So
if you know anything about my fantasy football history or fantasy anything, by the way, I did a NBA league last year. It's not pretty, rubber shoes. It's not. It has nothing to do with the league.
Every week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the guy who everybody's like, "Oh, I can't." Oh, yes, yeah. Adam's on my schedule this week. Let's go.
Scotty's playing you this week.
People on the bench.
He's crushing you this week.
I'm sure he is.
Dude, I also had Jared Goff with 76 fantasy points.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
So that's another thing with the ATB league. I think the quarterbacks are a little off.
You know what I think it needs, rubber shoes? I think it needs a new commissioner. I think you should be.
No, Janine is in charge.
I think you should be the commissioner. Rubber shoes. You have many thoughts on the rules. You're always talking about how it's a bad league. Yeah. I think you should. I have nothing against Janine. I think Janine does an excellent job. I think she's a wonderful commissioner, Madam Commissioner.
So I'm feeling things out this year.
I
may do a basketball league next year for like open it up to, because right now I'm feeling so because I talked to the last time you were on, Scotty, we were talking. I said I had the Yahoo League basketball, which is horrible. And so I started one just so I could see how it works, an ESPN one, which actually our first real game started today. And it's definitely, just from what I can see already, I love it much better. So I may try to open it up. I know like Tyler obviously would do it. My brother-in-law, a couple of his friends. But
would you let me in it, rubber shoes?
Yeah, that's I don't have enough to do. The reason why we didn't do one for real in the Yahoo one, because he could only get 3 other people. So I think if I combine people that like basketball, we might be able to get 10 teams, maybe 12.
Count me in. I will. I actually do pay attention sometimes to an NBA league. I just have to say the Tatum doll perfectly lined up with the corner of your. It just chef's kiss.
The championship.
The champ is here. Let's go. All right. So
Have him
next week,
dunk it right at the logo. Let's see.
Oh.
Yeah.
let's go. Next week we're gonna have. I think we might have a full house. It's very possible. Although Scotty, I'm sure it's dependent on where your health, with your surgery that you're having tomorrow. So
I can't wait to
Wednesday.
have Scotty on next Monday, having his painkillers and a drink. That's gonna be awesome.
I didn't know I'm not on right now, Billy.
I
Strong
haven't seen you
possibility that I
drinking.
am.
I haven't seen you drinking anything
Yeah,
tonight.
he was
Because
drinking.
I ran
Oh.
out. I had a beer, but I didn't.
Were you drinking the Derek White pale ale or whatever it is?
No, it's the boom sauce.
I want to
Boom
get
sauce.
that. I want to get the Derek White beer. All right, fellas, it's been real. If Scotty, I'm sure we'll hear about your surgery, but we wish you well. Hopefully you get a
Yep.
win, and then you get a clean bill of health when you come out of there. That it's going to be a good process to heal. Rubber Shoes in the LA
Hey,
studios.
just when training camp starts, don't go to like
Listen,
India
man, I'm
or
trying to
on
wrap things up. What is happening? I've been trying to wrap up for like 30 minutes, and every time I do,
right.
you got a new thing. Go ahead. What's your thing?
Like
Go ahead.
Aaron Rodgers, I didn't want him to go off and leave his team hanging,
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, won't do that. Don't worry.
All right, good. All right, thank God. Thank God. All right, and Scotty's in Maine, obviously, and I'm in Connecticut. All right, that's it. That's all we're gonna say.
What the hell is that? Oh, lol. Okay.
LA.
This is
I was
live
like-
on YouTube, Rubber Shoes.
Yeah.
And then on gang signs now.
Whole area.
I love it.
Oh
Love it.
my God! All right,
So
it's
funny.
been real, fellas. Have fun tomorrow night, Scotty, and we'll catch you guys
Yeah.
probably next Monday
I'll be
night
rooting for the Celtics.
for the